Oh, hello. Hey, it's Joel, the 3D printing nerd, and I'm sanding. I'm in my garage, my cold garage, sanding because this is the Mario block that for my the donations for Seattle Children's Hospital for Fan Mail Friday. Obviously, the one back here is the one that Bill and I got together and that I have to do some work on. But the reason I'm out here and the reason I have the camera on is because I want to tell you about my next spotlight, and that is Jeff of the Print 3D channel. Jeff and I met while I was down at CES, and I've known about his channel for a while. I've known what he's been able to do, and I got to talk to him in real life at CES, and him and his wife are just wonderful people. I can't wait to hang out with him again. Jeff is incredibly talented. He can fine-tune his printer really well. He can also do some really good design work in Cinema 4D, which is near and dear to my heart for reasons that many people know. So my spotlight today is on the Print 3D channel. So Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joel, and thank you again for this huge opportunity. I very much appreciate it. Hi everybody, my name is Jeff and I run the Print 3D channel over here on YouTube. I create videos showing off what my awesome G-Max 1.5 XT Plus can print and all kinds of other cool projects. I'm also getting more into prop building and I have a lot of really cool things planned for this year. Currently, the channel is 90 plus days into a 365 project. That's where we 3D print something new every day in 2017. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. I also do motion graphics and I do a little bit of modeling in Cinema 4D, and I have something very special to share with everybody today. This is the Twisted Gear Vase, and I designed this in Cinema 4D and then printed it on my G-Max 1.5 XT Plus. So let's head over to the computer and I'll show you how I designed this. Okay folks, so here we are in Cinema 4D, and I'm going to show you how I created that Twisted Gear Vase. The first thing I started with was this spline, and you can find that underneath the spline menu here. And there's a lot of really great defaults, and I used the cogwheel. Then I set my parameters for the cogwheel and I added an extrude object, which you can find underneath this menu right here. I set my parameters for my extrude at 250 millimeters because I have a G-Max printer and that gives me plenty of build space. The next thing you need to do is create this into an editable object. So you go current state to object, you twirl down these menus, and you grab everything with the shift select that has a triangle next to it. That means it's a polygon. And you go connect objects and delete, and that gives us our cogwheel. So we can delete these two objects because we no longer need them. This cogwheel is the same as this file here, so I'll go ahead and delete that and we'll use this one. And as you can see, I've got something going on here. The first thing we needed to do was add these Bulge and Twist, and I customized these, and you can find these under the Deformers menu, and there's a bunch of cool deformers in here. So if I turn on the Bulge and the Twist, you can see what I did here with the vase. And as you can see, it's very blocky. So the next thing we need to do is drop it into a Subdivision Surface, which you can find underneath this menu right here. And if we turn that on, you can see how that nicely smooths out. The next thing we need to do is make this into a solid object so we can export it as an STL. So you go underneath the object menu with it selected, and you go current state to object. And that'll join everything together. We can delete this object because we no longer need it, and now we have our final model. The next thing we need to do is export this as an STL file, which you can do under the File menu, Export, STL. And once you have that, all you need to do is drop it into Simplify 3D and print. Over in Simplify 3D, the one thing we need to do is enact Vase mode, and you do that under the Process settings and under Layer. Just turn on Single Outline Corkscrew Printing Mode Vase mode. Make sure you turn off your top layers, set your bottom layers, all your other minor parameters, and you should be good to go. Wasn't that cool? And it really looks awesome in this lime green filament. So I knew I had to print another one, so I printed it in Pearl Blue. And I'll make these files available up on Thingiverse so you can download and print these yourself too.
Ah, good, you're back. I know Jeff went through his tutorial a little quick, but hopefully you can pause it if you want to follow along. I know he's learning Fusion 360 and he'll probably replicate some of the results he gets in Cinema 4D in Fusion 360. Plus, he's doing a print a day, every day, this entire year. So in 2017, he's going to put out a video a day of each thing that he prints. That's just fantastic. And here's one of the reasons why I love that idea and I love what he's doing. He's not doing it because he has a high subscriber count or he has a bunch of fans demanding it. He's doing it because he's passionate about 3D printing. He's passionate about designs and he just wants to do it. And that's just great. And that's part of the reason why I want to spotlight Jeff. I want to spotlight his channel. And I want you to all go over, check it out if you can. If you think that's worth following along with, please subscribe to his channel. Obviously, I'm going to put the link down below. And there you have it. That's my spotlight for today. Jeff, thanks again for the tutorial. You know what? Why don't you finish this off?
Well, that about wraps it up for me, Joel. Thank you again for this huge opportunity. Remember to hug each other often, because I love you guys. And as always, high five.